When we think of actors who deserve an Oscar, there are plenty of acclaimed stars who make our list. One person we never thought we'd see? Adam Sandler. But that's what all the buzz has been about lately, as his new drama Uncut Gems gets highly praised, and especially Sandler for his dramatic turn in the film. We all know Sandler is one of the biggest goofballs in Hollywood, but if we reflect back on his journey so far, you should not underestimate the box office power and longevity he's had in the business. Learn how Sandler has lasted, overcome some box office blunders, and makes decisions which help his career and personal life at the same time.
How did this,
You can't really discuss Adam Sandler's career without starting back at the beginning. Many people's favorite Adam Sandler films were some of his first movies, which continue to get rerun over and over again thanks to cable networks. The 1990s was a major boom for the comedy genre, and Adam Sandler was right in the mix. He quickly gained fans with his eccentric characters on Saturday Night Live before transitioning to supporting roles in movies like Mixed Nuts and Airheads. His true comedy style and iconic films began with Billy Madison back in 1995. Playing an immature rich kid who goes back to school, the film was filled with hilarious quotes and scenes that went viral, before the internet and the common phrase of going viral was even a thing. Things only got better for Sandler as he followed up Billy Madison with Happy Gilmore, The Wedding Singer, The Water Boy, and Big Daddy. Those hits were constantly being swooped off the shelves at local blockbusters, and quoted from kids and young teens on a daily basis. When he wasn't doing a hit comedy film, he was filling the airwaves with comedic songs like the Hanukkah song, which is now a holiday mainstay and has had several new versions performed by Sandler himself. The thing is though, when looking at isolated movies, Sandler has had some huge hits. But so did a lot of other comedians in the 90s. Jim Carrey found massive success with movies like Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, Dumb and Dumber, and Liar Liar. Eddie Murphy had hits like The Nutty Professor and Dr. Dolittle. Robin Williams was in classics like Jumanji, Mrs. Doubtfire, Hook, you get our point. So Sandler finding success in the 90s wasn't the biggest deal. It's been his longevity that has truly made the performer stand out. Jim Carrey has continued to act but never really found the same glory days that he had back in the 90s. Before the tragic passing of Robin Williams, his career was not as big as it was back in that decade. And Eddie Murphy went from making massive hits to forgettable duds like Norbit and The Adventures of Pluto Nash. Yeah, all of the actors were able to get roles still, but none of them remained a headlining comedy star like Sandler did through the 2000s. His ability to make hit after hit has elevated him to one of the top comedy performers. So beyond his goofy on-screen presence, there's something brilliant going on in the mind of the actor. The thing is, Sandler didn't do all of this alone. He helped build a comedy team around him. Actors who would venture off into their own realms of success. Rob Schneider went from a bit player in Sandler's films to making a name for himself in movies like Deuce Bigalow, Male Gigolo, and The Animal. His buddies like Kevin James, Chris Rock, and David Spade have all had comedy hits as well, and they all teamed together for the massive success of Grown Ups. Sandler returns to his buddies time and time again. Anyways, while many view Sandler's career as going downhill in recent years, it's not really the case. While his movies are not as massive hits as they once were, the downhill trend doesn't specifically have to do with Sandler, but more of the comedy genre in general. In cinemas, mid-budget comedy films have dwindled down, slowly getting replaced with superhero films, remakes, and tentpole projects. Let's flash back to the 1999 box office. Sandler's Big Daddy was a massive success. Domestically, it was number 6 on the whole year with a box office take of $163 million. By 2013, the comedy world had changed, but Sandler's signature comedy style has thrived as Grown Ups 2 raked in $133 million. The film beat out other highly anticipated comedy sequels like Anchorman 2 and The Hangover Part 3. And it's also important to note that no straight-up comedy films cracked the top 10 box office that year. And now let's flash forward to 2019. The comedy genre in cinemas is all but gone. The closest thing to a comedy in the top box office is Kevin Hart's semi-serious The Upside, which failed to even crack the top 20. Meanwhile, Sandler has evolved. He still has fans and knows his audience extremely well. This is why he made the transition to an exclusive contract with the streaming platform Netflix. His Netflix deal has featured a mishmash of different movies, But 2019 clearly saw his biggest hit with the film Murder Mystery. In just the first month of streaming, Netflix claims that 73 million accounts watched the comedy, co-starring Jennifer Aniston. When you're pulling in big numbers like that, you don't need a movie theater to showcase your film. We just want to take a second here to remind all you movie fans to subscribe to ScreenRant and click the little bell thingy if you don't mind. Also, if you're watching on mobile, be sure to turn on notifications in your app settings. YouTube can be kinda fickle about notifying people, so this helps a lot. Sandler has proven once again that he can adapt with the times. And this is probably the reason why we haven't seen Sandler give in to one of his biggest critiques. While a lot of his comedy has remained on the same level, old school fans of Sandler clearly miss the glory days of Happy Gilmore and Billy Madison. They would love to see a sequel, remake, or just a movie with similar vibes. But Sandler has grown from those roles. Simply put, a movie like Billy Madison wouldn't work as well today, and it remains popular for the nostalgic connection that people have with it. And over the years, Sandler has not only matured a little bit in his comedy choices, but he's also dipped his toes into dramatic roles. Anytime we see a straight-up comedic actor take on a drama, it definitely piques our interest and gives us some more insight into the actor. Sandler first made his dramatic mark with 2002's Punch Drunk Love, and people could see a whole different side to Sandler. The ability to be taken seriously in dramatic roles has also helped him turn to comedies with a little more heart. Without Punch Drunk Love or Spanglish, it may have been hard to take Sandler seriously in some of his more grounded comedies like Click and 50 First Dates. He pretty much created his own romantic comedy subgenre, which could be described as goofy comedies with some heart. There's his Drew Barrymore trilogy of films, which started with Wedding Singer, ventured to Hawaii with the already mentioned 50 First Dates, and then concluded with Blended. Barrymore and Sandler play different characters in each movie, but somehow are able to tell a compelling story each time. The serious roles, A-list co-stars, and transition into more family-friendly films wasn't just a smart career choice for Sandler. It was based off of his personal life as well. See, Sandler has 2 kids, and he's been raising them with his wife for the past 12 years or so. Many of his career decisions were focused around his family. Basically, wherever he wanted to go on vacation is where he filmed his next movie. And that's a true story, not just a joke. Just Go With It and 50 First Dates allowed his family to enjoy a nice Hawaiian vacation while he filmed. Blended allowed the family to pack up and head to Africa, and Murder Mystery gave Sandler a fun European adventure. So not only does he manage to continue to find success, but he gets to enjoy unforgettable vacations in the process. And speaking of families, Sandler fully ditched his risque comedy of the 90s to go fully family-focused with the Hotel Transylvania series. His distinct voice and cartoonish nature made Sandler fit for the world of animation, and he would have made a brilliant Disney sidekick. Kind of like the path Robin Williams and Eddie Murphy follows as the genie in Mushu. But Sandler held out for the bigger and better things. He may have stumbled with the PG-13 comedy 8 Crazy Nights, but found massive success playing Dracula in the Hotel Transylvania series. Turns out that Sandler's formula for success even works for the younger crowds. Now he has a whole new generation of kids who will follow his career. Check out his past movies and stay tuned for projects beyond the Transylvania franchise. Brilliant. The trilogy of movies, with a 4th one likely on the way, featured gross-out gags, Sandler's buddies in voice roles, and the comedian doing plenty of his goofy voices. These are all signature marks of Sandler's success. The films have all been big hits and led to a cartoon spin-off series. Speaking of Hotel Transylvania, one of the best ways to describe Adam Sandler is by comparing the actor to horror movies. The whole Sandler brand is unaffected by critics or Rotten Tomato scores, much like most horror franchises. He doesn't need rewards or high praise. His audience is there for a few good laughs and some mindless entertainment. Horror movies tend to aim for the same thing, just replacing the comedy with some scares. Not everything is a hit though. The thing about Sandler is that he just keeps chugging along. While movies like Little Nicky and That's My Boy were major disappointments, Sandler just keeps doing Sandler. Eventually one of the films sticks, and we forget about movies like You Don't Mess with the Zohan. The funny part about Adam Sandler's terrible reviews is how everything just got turned on its head for the new release of Uncut Gems. The hard drama is currently at 93%, certified fresh, and getting Sandler some of the best reviews of his entire career. But his role as a sleazy jeweler and the praise he is getting shouldn't come as a surprise. Sandler has always had the ability to portray a dramatic role as well. It shows through with films like Funny People and Punch Drunk Love. For Sandler, it was all about finding the right material, and Uncut Gems is the perfect movie to elevate Sandler to something no one could have ever predicted: Academy Award nomination material. The question remains though, will the Academy take the actor seriously enough to give him the nom? Okay, so now we really want to hear your thoughts. What's your favorite Adam Sandler movie? Are you an old school fan or do you enjoy his new hits as well? What should Sandler do next, and do you enjoy him in dramas like Uncut Gems? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to ScreenRant for more great content.